Maybe the biggest question surrounding the 10 freeway closure is who's to blame?
Well, aside from the actual arsonist, can we blame the company that leased the land under the freeway? KNX News chief correspondent Charles Feldman goes in depth to try to figure this out.
Yeah, well, good luck on that one. The blame game will lead to lawsuits. But who sues whom? Caltrans blames Apex, the company that leased the land. Apex's attorney says Caltrans inspected on a regular basis, and they seemed fine with everything. LA-based legal analyst and attorney Miguel Custodio is with us now to try to sort it out. Good luck, Miguel, on that one, too. So who sues whom? We had, for example, a guy on the other day who had a lot of stuff that went up in flames in that facility. He was there from 2009, he said. He had a lot of insurance companies, one after another, refused to insure him because clearly they knew there was a problem. So it almost seems like the question is who knew, but who didn't know?
Right. And I think what's going to be important is whether or not Caltrans was on notice or was reasonably supposed to have been on notice of all the materials that were being stored underneath the bridge. And by all accounts, Caltrans was doing regular inspections of that area. And I mean, if you see pallets stacked up, I don't, on top of other items that were flammable, I just don't see how Caltrans could have been okay with that. So either they were not doing the inspections or they just somehow just looked the other way and said, well, if we're getting some lease money from the tenants, then we're fine with it. But we know that that Apex stopped paying their rent, and that's why they were actually already sued by Caltrans. And there's a court date set for February, but it's for unpaid rent.
Right.
But really, at the end of the day, everybody's going to be suing everybody.
So is this a matter for a federal court? Is it a state court? Both?
I think it's going to be state court. You have Caltrans and you have Apex, which I'm assuming is a California-based company. If it's not, then perhaps it will be in federal court.
So this kind of lawsuits, and again, we're presuming there will be, but I think that's probably a good bet, is not something that's going to be resolved quickly, right? These are going to be very protracted legal disputes with everybody, as we said at the start, pointing fingers at everybody else, and a lot of evidence that's going to have to be gathered and put in. This is not going to be easy, is it?
Absolutely not. This is going to take a long time, as a lot of big cases tend to take. But, this is really going to come down to what is found out during the discovery part of litigation. And, one thing that I was reading is that there's an engineer for Caltrans, didn't want to be named, but he said that Caltrans definitely knew what was underneath that bridge. So if evidence could be obtained in discovery, like through depositions or other discovery that shows that Caltrans was on notice, then they can be in some hot water.
All right. LA-based legal analyst, attorney Miguel Custodio. Thank you for your time.